This is Dr. Akram here from Sydney, Australia. Today we will discuss regarding the opportunities for dentists in Australia. So, as a dentist, how you can migrate to Australia. So, this is basically a short presentation, or this is like a more interactive session basically. So, you can ask any questions you have in your mind regarding the exam process, job, visa, or anything related to Australia. So you can ask any questions if you have. Okay, so you just need to unmute yourself at the end of this webinar, and I will talk to you one on one. Okay, or maybe you can just type your question in the chat box so I can read. And those are watching on YouTube, so please. You also can comment there, so I can read your comment. I will try to reply. Okay. So this is our team basically at Academically. Recently, we had even meeting in Delhi. So at Academically, we provide a assistance for all healthcare professionals, whether it is the medical, doctors, dentists, pharmacists, registered nurse, physiotherapist, optometrist, veterinary doctors. So any doctor looking to migrate to Australia or any healthcare professional, we will help you guys. So we basically help you in your documentation process to pass the exam. We will also guide you regarding how you can find a job and visa assistance for you. Okay. So today's webinar is for ADC, means Australian Dental Council exam. So I'm my name is Dr. Akram. So I'm around 10 years of teaching experience in clinical pharmacology in India, Malaysia, and in Australia. So last 6 years, I'm making content around on YouTube, on my Facebook and Instagram to create awareness among the healthcare professionals to migrate to Australia. So these are our faculty basically for this course. We have another one more faculty that's not in the current slide. So why the Australia basically as compared to the other countries for dentists? So Australia provide 190,000 permanent visa, PR visa, so you can live and work in Australia permanently. So for example, it's like you are a married and husband or wife has to complete this process, pass this ADC exam, and you can get a family visa permanently. You can live and work in Australia. And there is so many vacancies currently available. Around 3,000 vacancies are available for dentists. And the salary is very high. I can say around 1 CR per year in Indian rupees if I convert it. Or in AUD, 180,000 Australian dollar per year on an average salary for a registered dentist in Australia. So if you can see this, basically, that we are seeing the growth for dentists going to be for next 5 years around 28%. The salary 180K and the job satisfaction is very high. Out of 4, 3.9. So this is basically, this data is from one of the famous website called seek.com.au. This is #1 website in Australia if you are looking a job in Australia. So the benefits for dentists to migrate to Australia, basically the education for kids in Australia, and also the healthcare also is free. So if anything happened to you or if your family members, then no need to worry. I mean, they are going to provide the application for you free of cost. High potential earning, better quality of life, and career opportunities for you in Australia. So these are some of the advantage. So what is ADC exam? So ADC exam is administered by Australian Dental Council. This is the exam basically you need to clear if you completed your degree in overseas. So if you are not from Australia and New Zealand and completed your degree from any other country, you need to give this Australian Dental Council exam. There's a 2-part for this exam, part 1 and part 2. I will explain my first slide. So if you pass these exams, then you can register yourself as a registered dentist in Australia. So additionally, the first step to landing a dentist job in Australia, both written and practical examination must be successfully completed before the candidate apply for registration with Dental Board of Australia. And so the eligibility for this exam, you must be completed your 4 years bachelor degree in dentistry. We can select BDS in India or DDS. There's some other country have done it. So you must complete this degree and you must be a registered dentist in your home country. This is the only requirement to sit in this exam. There are some steps you need to complete in order to migrate to Australia. The first step, we can say the initial physical assessment, or we can say document verification by ADC. And then you need to write this ADC written examination, okay? And then you need to pass English test as well, like IELTS, OET, or PTE. And once you pass this, then you have to apply for ADC for your registration. You will get limited registration once you pass ADC 1 and English. And then you need to go for the ADC practical examination. This is the part 2 exam. And so this exam is going to conduct in Australia, but this part 1 exam, ADC part 1 for dentists, you can write this exam in your home country, okay? So the first 3 steps like document verification, ADC part 1 exam, English, these 3 exams, you can complete 3 steps in your home country, but ADC practical exam, you need to be in Australia. So they need your degree, transcript, work experience if you have any, valid passport, but work experience is not required. But if you have any, then you need to show government ID proof, upsize photograph, dental registration certificate, and good standing certificate from your dental registration council. These are the documents required for assessment. This is a step 1 process. And then English proficiency requirement, as I mentioned, that IELTS 7 individual, or PD 65, or OET 350, or B grade. So around 280 questions in this exam, and 56, scenario in forward. Basically, they will give you some case-based scenarios, and they will ask you 5 related questions from there. This is around 8 hours time, and around minimum you need to score 50%. But this is basically the requirement is they are not showing how much you require to pass, because there's a grade they will give you A or B to pass this ADC exam, okay? And no negative marking for it. And at Academically, we will provide you with a 4-month coaching to pass this exam. This is an online coaching. So we will cover A to Z syllabus, live classes, plus study material, then the chapter-wise mock test, then we have a grant test. So we will prepare for you in this 4 months. So basically, easily you can crack this exam from your home country. And once you pass these exams, then you are eligible to apply. These are the visa like 190, 491, or if you have work experience, then also you can apply 482 and 494 work visa. Okay, so at Academically, we provide assistance for you. We provide live classes, study materials, mock test, and we have our own community portal. So you can ask any questions whenever you have, or you can ask in the next live class. So whatever possible for you. Here are some other highlights from the program. The fees our team will give you. We have a scholarship currently we are giving. Contact to our team for more information. And we have a very high tech record to pass the exams. These are some of the basically media highlights from about the Academically and about personally me. And recently, we article published in the Hindustan Times, now also in Outlook. And these are some of the reviews from Google reviews from students. So we are providing the student loan. We can say the EMI option. So you can pay our fees in 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months without paying any interest rate. And we also have a scholarship to give the test for this. And these are our numbers, basically, you can give basically, you can call us, you can WhatsApp us, and you can contact us on this email. And you can visit us academically.com. And if you are in Sydney, you also can personally meet me in my office. Thank you. Now I will talk to you one on one. So if you have any questions, so I can talk to you and give the yes, please unmute yourself and then you can talk.
So I guess there are two text on the chat. If you can check the chat segment, there are two questions over there. Akram sir, there are few questions on the chat segment.
Hello, Anand. I was not here.
Okay. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. There are few questions in the chat segment. If you want, I can read them out for you.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know the exact name, but it is showing Lorry. So may I request to rewind the said requirements? And the second question is, where will we take the exam? Does it have to be in Australia? That's the question from the person who has asked it on the chat segment.
So this basically this exam, it is an online exam. So part one ADC written examination you need to give in your home country. But for part two, the clinical exam or practical exam, you need to be in Australia. So ADC part one you can give in your home country.
Okay. So there is another question from Simranpreet Kaur Sandhu. Sir, as I am BDS intern, what is the best time for me to give the exam?
You can start preparing now, but you only can give this exam once you pass your degree and you must be a registered dentist in your home country. So I think this is the right time for you. You can start preparation now, and once you graduate, and then we can file your skill assessment.
So there is another question from the same person. What all things we need to prepare for ADC exam?
This is there is a syllabus given by the ADC, so we will cover A to Z. You no need to worry. You just need to join the academically. So we provide the live sections, study material, and plus we will also give you a lot of the mock tests. So we will prepare for you. Okay.
Okay. Sir, there is another question from Noora. What's the registration documents needed for ADC Part 1?
So basically, skill assessment, you require your degree, your transcript, your registration as a dentist, good standing certificate, and your passport. All the just normal documents only required for this.
RM Jaya Singhe, she is asking what would be the classes for written exam conducted by you? I
Yes.
think she's asking about the classes only. The
Yes.
question isn't clear.
Yes. So we provide live classes. So around we have to take around around 10 hours weekly live classes. So we take 2 hour live class. So around 5 days in a week, we have to run this class. We have the three faculties that are taking the classes. So we will provide you the classes, study materials. We have basically mobile application in Android, iOS, and we have our own LMS. So you can access uh, whenever you are available. If you are miss any class, in that case, you will get the recorded session, recorded videos.
So there is another question related to do we need to appear for ADC for pursuing masters in Australia? This has been asked by Amandeep Kaur.
No, not it. I mean, when you are in your home country, you can appear in ADC Part 1. There's no need. But if you are planning to come Australia to study, for example, MPH or any other course. Simultaneously, if you want to give this exam, you can.
So the question is again from Lori. Where will get a link for part 1 exam to register? Also, do you have a review course before we take the exam? I think he's asking about the registration link and the course details.
So please give us your phone number, email in the chat box. So our team will connect to you individually and they will give you the information to register with us. Okay. Please everyone provide your name, phone number, email, and so we can connect to you. And we also provide time to time, the information. And if we have any other opportunities for dentists in any other country as well. So please provide us your phone number, especially the WhatsApp number and email address with your name so we can connect to you later on as well.
Sir, Sauparna is asking about the entire cost going to be for ADC exam. What are the job opportunities and minimum salary once you find a job in Australia post ADC passing?
So the salary, whatever you are earning in India in a year, and maybe you can make here in the 2 week. Okay. So in this is like in Australia, the government already fixed the minimum salaries. As I mentioned earlier, around 1 CR you can make once you become a fully registered dentist in Australia. So, and then even if you are working, if you pass ADC part when you are working as a part time, even you can make a good money here. So the salaries here per hour basis and very high demand, I can say, for dentists in Australia.
So we have another question. Which visa will be given to us to work in Australia? Does every state in Australia has a different rule for practicing dentistry?
No, there is a same rule. Here is the central government the rule for this. So any state you can work basically if you pass the exam.
Okay. Uh, Yashwant Kumar is asking about, please say about good standing certificate.
So when you registered in your state dentistry council, so you have to ask them to give you good standing certificate. Means that you are a fully registered dentist there, and you in your career since you joined there, nothing happened to your registration. Sometimes there is restriction or they remove sometimes if you are doing some malpractice, this and that. And so this is just a formality basically. They just want to check from your council. They can give you a letter basically, a good standing certificate.
Sir Noora Ajensha is asking about, if there is a gap of 3 years after passing BDS without home country experience, is it possible to write the exam?
Basically, you need to give it reason why you are. If you are not practicing 3 years, so I consider you just a science graduate. You are not a dentist. As for Australia, also, they are not considered as a dentist. You must be a practicing on you are working in your field, then only you can say that okay, yes, I'm a dentist. It is not just a degree can give you the title in Australia. So you must be working. So what you can do, you can start working in any clinic or something. Simultaneously you can you start. Whenever you have gap in your CV, you must show that why there is a gap, why you are not practicing. You have to basically justify that gap. So 3 years you cannot justify. It's a very long gap basically.
So Suman Weba Tamang, she is asking, for the practical exam, what visa do we need to apply for?
Any visa you can come basically. For example, you can come on visit visa to write that exam. So visit visa they will give you for around for 1 year, but maximum you can live here for 3 months. You can come on that visa and can write the exam, or maybe you can come on a study visa. So uh, those visa you can come to give this exam.
RM Jayasinghe is asking again, could you please tell us about online classes for written exam? Will you send the details? Thanks. I think sir has already explained this. Yeah.
That's why we are requesting you provide us your phone number, email in the chat box. So our team will connect to you.
Also, I want to add, I believe you guys got this link of the webinar through WhatsApp, right? So anybody looking for course details and fees related matters, please ping on the same WhatsApp number. The counselors will then get back to you with the details over a call. Acha. Another question from Noora. After passing ADC 1, within how much time we need to attend ADC part 2?
Within 3 years. Once you pass ADC part 1, within 3 years, you need to pass part 2. If you are not able to pass within 3 years, then you need to again rewrite this part 1.
Sir, RM Jay Singh is asking, could you please tell details on visa and working opportunities? Acha, I think Sir has already answered this question for others as well. Let's move on to the next question. How much is ADC exam part 1 that can be conducted from our home country? So I think he's asking about the fee structure, the exam fees.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, that our team can give them the more detail, the step by step documentation process, then exam fee, the English fees. So our team will give into you the information. So you can just ping on the same WhatsApp the hi, and the guy will give you the information regarding the fees.
I think that answers Neetu's question as well, which was regarding the fee structure. Uh, Sauparna is asking, does the passing of ADC have a validity in terms of years, and do we have to renew the certificate yearly, or
As I
it's
mentioned, 3 years you need within 3 years you need to pass part 2. To get the full registration. Once you get a full registration, you need to renew every year. Like in India. In India also you are renewing your license every 5 years, every 3 years, or every year. There is every state have their own rules in India. Right? Same here like this. You just need to pass one time only, and once you're registered, then no need to give any other exam.
Sure. Just wanted to ask Tausif once. Tausif, have we unmuted everybody? Are they allowed to unmute and speak? Yeah. Could you please check while I take the other questions? Okay. Okay. Do we need to take exam for renewing? Akram
No,
sir.
no, no, no. Actually, I was on also live on Instagram.
Is there any ADC standard practical classes in India?
Yes, this is what we are providing. This is the online classes we are providing. Yeah,
I
and
believe we
then
don't have any question, anything left on the chat segment as of now.
why
Anybody who wants to ask a
you
question
can,
can unmute.
yes, you can unmute and ask your doubt.
Sir, I think the question again is related to the practical test. I believe ADC 2 and the
Mhm.
scope.
Scope I already mentioned 1 CR you can make. In India, you are making 15-20,000 rupees, and you're asking the scope again and again. So if you are going outside India in any country, this is Australia is a high income country. US, UK, Canada, Europe, Australia, similar salaries you will get in all those high income countries. So this is it, like this is the you'll getting paid good salary here, but you need to complete this process.
I guess we don't have any other question in the chat segment. Anybody can unmute. Okay, another question. What do we need to do in practical exam? Is it about complete
Have
denture?
you have you heard the name of OSCE? OSCE? If not, please go and Google it. So if you want to practice any medical or any healthcare degree holder, pharmacist, nurse, MBBS doctor, dentist, physiotherapist, so everyone has to give part 2 exam. This is called OSCE exam, or we can say practical exam or clinical exam. So they will give you certain tasks, or there is some patient you have to perform those tasks, and there is some lecture has to watching you are performing in the right way or not. This is how you have to show this. This is basically a practical exam. Okay.
Anyone else could please unmute yourself. Okay, Mantaha Chaudhary. Uh, our question is, sir, do we have to provide IELTS score for part one?
No. I mean, after that, you basically English is mandatory. Whether it is first you pass English, then ADC, or so it's up to you. But English you can give after ADC also. It's not required. Uh,
Hello.
it, yes,
Hello.
yes, Sapna.
Sir, can you tell also about once we give the exam,
Mm.
right? You told that we can have a 3 years gap and then give part two.
No,
So,
and I never said 3 year gap you can give the exam. I said there is
okay.
no gap. You have to justify why there is a
Huh.
gap in your CV.
Okay.
They will ask you, you must constantly working. If you are working, this is a very good for you. If you have 3 5 years gap in your CV, and you are not in doing practice, so you cannot write this
No,
exam.
no, sir, I'm not talking about practice right now. What I'm trying to tell you is giving the part one and part two exam. You said you can have a gap between your part one and part two, right? So, between the part one and part two, what's the maximum or the minimum gap you can take the exam?
Many,
Like,
there
I'm
is no
saying,
minimum. You once you pass part one, next week you can write part two. So that there is a
okay,
certain date is there, and
okay,
there is a certain date is there. So you have to attend part two. And
okay.
every year 3 to 4 times they give this exam you can attend, so around 10 to 12 times you can attend before this, so there is a
Hmm.
maximum, these are the 3 years time,
Okay,
but
and
minimum, there is no minimum time.
okay. So once you pass the exams, say you want to apply for a visa to work there. So do we have to get a sponsorship in return, just like how it works in US, or is it different for Australia?
No, basically you have to find a job. If the company
Okay.
can give you the sponsorship, then you can come.
Hmm.
Otherwise you need to come on a visit visa,
Okay.
to write part two and clear part two, and then again you need to find a sponsorship. The sponsorship ability is a high chance once you pass part two.
Okay. So can you tell me which visa other than VIT visa? There's nothing called as work visa in Australia.
Yes, there is a work visa is there, 482
Huh.
494. So for work visa you need to find a sponsor.
Okay. Is it the same like how the lottery system works in the
No,
US, like
there
for
is no, no,
H1B?
no lottery. If the sponsor can give you the visa, you will get 99%. You will get
Okay.
the. There is no lottery system here in Australia.
Okay, it can be a government funded sponsorer or a private funded sponsor. It
And
depends on the company,
any
right?
small any small clinic can
Clinic
sponsor.
also. Okay, 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 okay.
So
So yeah,
any
thank you.
any dental related, clinic,
Hmm.
hospital, they
Chains.
or maybe institute, whatever, they can sponsor.
Okay, okay, okay. Cool.
You, you,
Thank you, sir.
you just need to find a job, and and then they can sponsor you. And there is no lottery system in Australia. So like unless you have something in your like medical, basically, before
Hmm.
they grant you visa, they will ask you like general, physical, like the medical test on your like police check in
Hmm.
your country. That's it.
Do we also have to give an English exam just to prove that we know English, something like that, just like other countries?
I already mentioned. I think you missed this point.
Yeah, yeah, I missed the starting part, sir, so that's why I
This is mandatory.
wanted to ask.
Mandatory. This is English speaking country. So
Yeah.
English is mandatory. So once you pass ADC part one, and then you need to write English test, IELTS,
Okay.
OET, or PT. This is mandatory. Without this,
Okay.
you cannot even register yourself as a dentist in Australia.
Okay, okay, okay,
So
okay. Is there a minimum or a maximum score for IELTS as well?
minimum
Like,
seven, minimum
okay,
seven required, and we
okay,
will we will also provide you coaching for this as well. So
okay,
documentation process, we will help you to complete. We'll provide you coaching for ADC. We'll provide you coaching for English as well. And once you all those things, we will help you in all those things.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, next please. Unmute anyone.
Anybody who has joined us late can also unmute and ask your questions directly. I've seen a few people joining us late. If you want to ask any question directly, you can ask. Yes, Zepa, if you can unmute yourself and ask your question. You have mentioned that you couldn't connect with us earlier, but if you have any doubts, any questions, please unmute and ask directly.
Or you can leave your phone number, email in the chat box, and then our team will connect to you. Or maybe you can just reply to that WhatsApp where you got this link to join us.
Hello.
Yes, Anshul.
Sir, since I joined late, sir, can you please provide the PPT? And sir, I want to know
It's
what is the.
already available on the in the YouTube. So
Okay.
Academically.MedPrep. This is our YouTube channel. So you
Sir,
can
can you repeat it, sir?
you just go to YouTube and type academically only.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
you will find there is a YouTube. I can show you here also. So
Okay.
you guys can go. There is so many videos for dentist, so
Mhm.
might be.
Okay.
Um, Assalamualaikum sir.
Sir,
Muntaha.
one thing more was there that most of the dentists who are get clearing the exams of ADC Part 1 and Part 2, are they working in the some other setup, or they are opening their own setup over there?
So you guys, this is the channel for dentists and medical doctors. So you can subscribe the channel. You will find a lot of videos related to dentist, ADC exam or other medical exams. Okay. Yes. So once you pass this and you basically writing this exam to register yourself as a dentist in Australia. So once you are a dentist in Australia, if you want to work in any clinic, hospital, you can work. Okay. Or if you want to open your own clinic, you can. So it's up to you what you want to do.
Sir, Muntaha, I have a question.
What?
Sir, I'm Muntaha. I have a question regarding the after passing dental part one, ADC part one, do the
Uh-huh.
clinics sponsored us and we can go to Australia? Is that
You have
correct?
to find a job. They may sponsor you. If not, then you can come on visit visa to write part two exam, clinical exam. Okay. And once you pass clinical exam, again you have to find a sponsor, means a job. So it's up to you. So if you have the experience, you are very good in your CV. Definitely, there's a chance for you. This is like individualize the things. Okay, how you are performing in the interviews. So job is given by a private clinic or hospital or by a any government hospital, right? So you have to find a suitable job and apply there, and if they sponsor you, then you can come. ठीक है Arindam, I think. Yes, किसी का कोई last question, please ask. Otherwise, we are going to finish.
I think we don't have any questions so left. Uh, we request everybody to share your phone number and email ID in the chat segment so that we can get back to you individually for your questions.
ठीक है Arindam. Okay, thank you so much,
Thank you,
guys.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Question.
Good night.